You know, Attorney Online is fun and all, but I think it's time for some new content, and what better content than Ace Attorney? After all, I am an Ace Attorney fan, but what exactly do I talk about? Oh, I know. Why don't we talk about the problem with the modern Phoenix Wright games compared to the original trilogy of games? I will not include investigation games in this video because I feel like I want to talk about those games in a different video in more detail. But anyway, what exactly is wrong with Dual Destinies Spirit Justice? Well, to figure that out, we'll take a look back at a little game called Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. This game is what led to a new page of adventures for the Phoenix Wright games. Sounds promising, right? Well, what if I told you that would lead to so many new characters being introduced and not actually being a Phoenix Wright game anymore? See, the issues I have with Dual Destinies Spirit Justice stems from the fact that Apollo Justice was ever a game to begin with. When Capcom created Apollo Justice, it was meant to be a reboot of the Ace Attorney series, where we take the role of a new protagonist, Apollo Justice and his partner Phoenix Wright. This game was supposed to replace Phoenix Wright entirely, even though Phoenix is still in the game, because why? But of course, Apollo Justice wasn't really the success Capcom was looking for, right? Now why is that? Well, maybe because nobody really wanted to play as Apollo, and oh, you know, the cases were boring! Besides the last case, but that one was still pretty boring anyways. Now, enter 2013. Not wanting to fail again, Capcom releases Dual Destinies and oh boy, our favorite character is back, Phoenix Wright, with a new character, Athena Cykes. Great. Not that I hate Athena, I think she's actually an amazing character, but just like Apollo, she ruins Dual Destinies by being in this game in the first place. What I mean is, this game is called Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, but the main story isn't even about Phoenix at all. I mean, sure, there's a portion in the game that explains how Phoenix got his badge back, but can I just say that Dual Destinies completely ignores Apollo Justice's ending entirely? Like, wasn't the court system changed at the end of Apollo Justice? I thought it was the jury who had the final word in deciding the verdict of the defendant. But anyway, as I was saying, this game doesn't really focus too much on Phoenix. Rather, it focuses more on Apollo and Athena. The game tries to flesh out both characters' backstories, and for the most part, it's great. But this seriously should have never included Phoenix Wright to begin with. I mean, yes, he's there because he's actually trying to save Simon Blackwell, the new prosecutor by the way, from receiving a death penalty he didn't deserve, but it seriously just feels like Capcom just threw Phoenix into this game because they knew if it had Phoenix in the title it would sell. This game should have been just a sequel to Apollo Justice or even just Athena Cykes' Ace Attorney. But anyway, seeing that Dual Destinies was a success, a sequel was planned to be made. This sequel, Spirit of Justice, would come out in 2016 and, well, Capcom wanting to be safe included Phoenix Wright again because, you know, he's Phoenix Wright. And this time they brought back two favorite characters, Maya and Emma, which was extremely amazing. Everybody always wanted to see the return of Maya ever since Dual Destinies, and as for me, I was very excited to see Emma back. She's actually one of my favorite Ace Attorney characters ever. But anyway, my point stands once again in this game. This game focuses way less on Phoenix and more on Apollo. This game is seriously all Apollo. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. I actually consider Spirit of Justice to be one of my favorite Ace Attorney games, up there with Trials and Tribulations. But do you see what I mean by Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice not being as good as the original Phoenix Wright trilogy? If not, let me explain. Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice tried too hard to give each character a chance in the spotlight. Dual Destinies, for example, the main story was about Apollo and Athena, but then we also had the fact that Phoenix is back as a lawyer, and now he's on a mission to save Blackwell, all while being the boss of Apollo and Athena. In Spirit of Justice, the story is solely about Apollo wanting to help his father, Dirk, change the laws of crime. But once again, because there are three characters now, the story can't just focus on one character. No, of course not. All characters need to have a chance at the spotlight. Which is funny to me because Capcom gave Athena her very own case in Spirit of Justice, which is extremely irrelevant to the main story of Spirit of Justice. It doesn't even have its own investigation. I mean, I guess the magical turnabout doesn't contribute to the main story either, but that case is amazing, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, Dual Destiny and Spirit of Justice aren't bad by any means. Their only issue is the fact that not one character can get enough time to themselves. We're always switching between characters every case, and it just makes everything complicated. This was never an issue in the trilogy because we only played as Phoenix, which is why we grew attached to him. We bonded with Phoenix Wright and actually liked him because the story focused on him and didn't try to add in so many different characters. I suppose this is the reason why Apollo Justice wasn't as popular as the trilogy games. People didn't really want the changes, people wanted Phoenix back. because how can you just take away the only character you ever bonded with throughout 3 games and not get any backlash? I think Capcom realizes this issue as well. There's a reason why Apollo left the Write Anything agency to stay in Kurion to run Dirk's law office. It's a touching end, but it's also Capcom's way of limiting the characters so the story can be written much more clearly instead of focusing on too many characters. Maybe the next Ace Attorney game we may actually see Athena leave the Write Anything agency as well. Will this be the last time we will get to see Apollo? No, not at all. Apollo leaving is actually a good thing because this could lead to a possible long-awaited Apollo Justice sequel. It will be upsetting that we may not get to see Apollo interact with Phoenix and the rest as much, but I'm sure we'll see Apollo again in a new game. But anyway, these are just my views on both Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. I don't hate the games, they are actually really well made, but I still felt it necessary to bring this issue up. So I hope there's no misunderstanding. I like both games, and at the end of the day, this is just a theory, a game theory. Oh, wait, wrong channel. But anyways, with all that said, I'll see you guys later. Bye.